Hold on, y'all. One at a time, because you need to get out. You don't need to explain what they do, but just name the three branches. Now, there's three branches of government, and there's three levels of government. So we naming the three branches. So who want to go first?
Legislative.
Okay.
Judicial.
Okay. One more. Legislative, judicial.
That's the last one.
Okay, anybody else?
Executive.
Three branches. What it was?
Executive.
Executive. Very good. Congratulations. Get you a $5 bill. And the reason I do that.
He should know.
And the reason I do, and I quiz people on this all the time, because studies suggest that only one in four people know the three branches of government.
And it's usually the youngest one.
It's in it. Like I can just, when I'm out doing voter registration, out doing voter outreach, I say, what's the three branches of government? But they've done research on this, and they say that only one in four persons. So how many people we have in this room? So 1 out of 5. So I mean, I do it to test it, because I love research, I love studies, and I do it to test it. So executive branch, legislative, and judicial. So there's three branches of government, and there's three levels of government: federal, state, and local. So yeah, I just wanted to start off with that. I never gave anybody $5, so I said I wanted to give $5 away today. So that's my first time doing it, but I quiz people all the time on that. But about the book, and again, welcome, thank you everybody that came today. So, Sacred Civic Action, quick guide to engaging in civic life. So it aims to blend spiritual principles with civic responsibility to engage, educate, and empower people to take civic action. Now, Sacred Civic Action is much more than a book, even though I put it into book form, but it's more than a book. This is a philosophy that I embrace. In the Bible, in Proverbs 11:25, it says, "The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed." So with that, it lets us know when we give, when we serve, when we are generous, we prosper. So the concept of Sacred Civic Action, it just works. I embrace it because it works. And so I embrace this philosophy because, and in this book right here is a guidebook that helps us to not only, because a lot of times we are, I'm not going to say afraid, but we are kind of skeptical when it comes to blending our faith with civic responsibilities. So this book right here is really a call to action. Is a call to action for us to be involved in our communities. And when I say communities, I'm talking about your family, I'm talking about the people you work with, talking about the people you go to school with, people you go to church with. So when I say communities, I'm not saying we got to go out and be with, that's part of the community too, your neighbors and people out in the community. But it starts at home. It starts with your family. It starts with people that you go to work with, you go to school with. So this is a guide to help you to do that, to be able to practice your spiritual principles, stay true to your sacred values without compromising your sacred values, and be able to participate in civic life. So that's what the book is about. And there's a study, I love studies, y'all, the Fester Institute, a study on spirituality in the United States. And the study suggests that people who are more spiritual are motivated to participate in civic life. Not saying there's only people who are spiritual participate in civic life, but it says that people who are spiritual are more motivated to do all sorts of civic action like volunteering, voting, donating to charitable causes, things like that. Participate in civic life. So that's what the study suggests. And so I know I hear the concerns. You probably heard the separation of church and state. A lot of times people, they say they don't believe in it, they don't even know where it comes from. But my response is to that, and I hear people say that we shouldn't be discussing politics in the church because of the separation of church and state. But my response to that is we should be discussing politics in the church because Jesus is all about the people. In politics, it's all about the people. So why not have these conversations in the sacred spaces? And there is a right and a wrong way to do it. You know, I'm not saying that the preacher, because this is another argument too, you know, the preacher shouldn't be in the pulpit trying to push their political ideologies on, you know, the members. But we should be having these conversations. So if we say there's a separation of church and state, then that suggests that in sacred spaces, we don't talk about politics. So if we don't talk about it in sacred spaces in the church, and Jesus said, you know, we're supposed to be all about the left out, the least, and the orphans and the widows and the children, and that's all politics is looking out for your neighbor, loving your neighbor. So if we're not doing it in the church, then where are we doing it? So, and everybody don't subscribe to that ideology about separation of church and state, but I just feel I wanted to write about it and talk about it because there are a lot of people that do. And a lot of times people that's against it, they don't even know where it comes from. It's not even in the Constitution. Separation of church and state is not in the Constitution. They get it from Thomas Jefferson, which was the 3rd president of the United States. He wrote a letter to the Baptist people saying that because he was a religious man, but he was just saying because the First Amendment says that a freedom of speech, right? So freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So it wasn't, the Constitution wasn't saying that we're supposed to separate church and state. It was just saying that in the United States, we can't establish a religion that dominates every other religion. So that's really what it means. So when I wrote the book, Sacred Civic Action, Quick Guide to Engaging in Civic Life, I was really addressing that concern around separation of church and state. And so the book, it focuses on 4 core areas, and it's not a long book, it's not a thick book, and I want to share another statistic. Well, I'm going to share first the 4 core areas of the book. It's Civics 101, voting and elections, volunteer service, and civil protest. Because I believe it starts with education. And it starts with a basic civics lesson. Because a lot of times, you know, for those of us that are a little older, we've been out of school a while, and, you know, we need to be refreshed about our civics. But if we don't even have the civics part down, you know, it's going to be hard to do everything else. It's going to be hard to participate and engage in civic life when we don't even know what civics is. We can't navigate it because we don't know what it is. So those are 4 core areas of the book. And like I said, the book is a call to action, but not only a call to action to service, for service, is a call to action to pursue education. Let me repeat that. It's a call to action to pursue education. 54% of adults in America have a literacy level less than a 6th grader. Their literacy level is lower than a 6th grade level. So that means, that suggests that more than half of adults in America read and write below a 6th grade level. So that's why this is a book, is a call to action to pursue education. When I say pursue education, it don't mean you need to go out and get a 4-year, 6-year degree. But we must be educated. We must be reading. We must be, and literacy is not only the ability to read and write. Literacy is the ability to analyze and interpret what you read and write. Literacy is the ability to speak and write. So it's much more than, speak and listen. So it's much more than speaking and reading and writing. Literacy is the ability to do all those things, interpret, analyze what you're reading and writing. So that's why I say the book is a call to action to not only service, but to pursue education. Hi, Bridget. Hi. Thank you. Welcome for joining us. So Sacred Civic Action, Quick Guide to Engaging in Civic Life. And so there are benefits to engaging in civic life. One of the benefits is personal development and spiritual growth. And so when you engage in civic life, that's an opportunity for you to learn about yourself. It's an opportunity for you to grow spiritually. It's an opportunity for you to learn what your strengths are, learn what your weaknesses are, because we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses, but until we actually engage and put it to work, we don't really know what it is. So there's a lot of benefits. There's numerous benefits to engaging in civic life. So again, the book, it is not only a philosophy that I embrace, but it is a call to action. In the book, in addition to the 4 core areas that I talked about, Civics 101, voting in elections, and the book is not strictly politics, it's not strictly about politics. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, I don't do politics. I don't even know how to get involved with politics. I just don't do politics. But I will respond to you by saying, you don't have to do politics, but politics is doing you. Because there are decisions that's being made every single day about you and your life. And so, and I think because we have so many problems in the world, there's so many problems, and I think I'm not gonna say afraid to get involved, but we just don't know where to start because it's just so much. But just start somewhere. What do you care about? What's important to you? Is it animals? Is it homelessness? Is it education? You know, we just can start somewhere. We can't just say, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm not doing anything. So this is what the book Sacred Civic Action is about. Being engaged in civic life without compromising your sacred values. You can be engaged, you can talk politics, you can do politics, you can do all that. And you can do it and not sacrifice your values. You can still love Jesus and say that I'm political. You can still go out there and do voter outreach. You can still go out there and help your community. And again, our community is our family. It starts with our family. Our family, people we go to school with, people we go to work with, people we go to church with. So when you hear community, don't just think of the broader, just think about people that you connected to if you're on social media. Like who you connected to on social media? What you doing on social media? You just there to see what everybody else is doing? Or are you trying to influence the people in some way that you are connected to? So when I say community, I'm just talking about people that's closest to you, people that you know you're going to pay attention. When you're on social media, people that respect you and know you and like you, they're going to pay attention to what you have to say. So it's a call to action. It's a call to pursue education because we all should be involved in some way. And the last thing I'm going to say, then we're going to get into the little activity and have an activity on the on the screen that I'm going to put up, and Danielle going to read a proclamation I have. But I just want to share that government was God's idea. It was God's idea. So why do we think we need to separate God from government? It was his idea. There's so many examples in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, that talks about, how people were politically engaged. So I just want people to be aware, when you hear people talking about the separation of church and state, if we're going to separate, like I want people in office, I want politicians, y'all see my vote pen. I'm very involved in voting rights because that's something I'm passionate about, which this book, the entire book is not political again, is giving you ways to be involved. But we want people in office that have some kind of morals, right, that have some kind of values, that care about the community, they care about the people that they're serving, that care about their constituents. We don't want to just put people in office that don't care about people. And and I'm nonpartisan, I'm not out here endorsing nobody, but if you just paying attention, anybody in America and in other countries across the world, if you just paying attention to our politics in America, you can see the people, the candidates, those that's running, those who love the people, that care about the people, and those that really don't. I mean, by their actions, by the things that they say. So we all have to be involved. It's a call to action. Again, I shared the literacy rate in America. 54% of adults in America have a literacy rate of a 6th grader. So, yeah, I shared those statistics before you came in. So that means more than 50% of adults in America read and write on a 6th grade level or below. So, reading in books have changed my life. One book in particular is the Holy Bible. It has changed my life. It has impacted my life so greatly. So when I say it's a call to action to pursue education, we have to be reading. We have to be being educated, because I believe a lot of times we don't get involved because we don't know what to do. We're not educated. You know, a lot of times people say, well, I don't do politics. And you hear it because we're just not educated. We don't know where to start. Again, like I said, it's so many problems in the world. But just start with what you know, what you're passionate about. Whatever it is, if it's just one thing. You ain't got to try to solve all the problems in the world. We can't do that. But just start where you can and what's important to you. And that's what it's all about. That's why I started. I started with what was important to me, and you know, it just grew and grew. Again, there's numerous benefits to engaging in civic life. In the book, there is, at the end of the book, a call to action section that shares some ways that you can get involved. So, because I hear people all the time, they say, I want to get involved, but they don't know what to do. So, this is your guidebook to show you. It's a guidebook to show you what to do and how to get involved and engaged in civic life. Okay, so, I wanted to read a section of the book and a couple of FAQs, frequently asked questions in the book. So after I read that, if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask any questions y'all may have, and then we're going to get into the little activity. So we're going to get you an activity once we finish. So this is interactive. I know a lot of times you come to book signings, excuse me, you just come, the person sign your book, you get your book, and you leave. But Rita already knows. She said, yes, Cynthia going to have activity for us. Yes, I am. Because I'm not going to be doing all the talking. I want to see what y'all know. I started out with a pop quiz. I just want to ask y'all, see if y'all know the ones that just came in, but the giant want to live $5. But name, who can name for me? And I'm going to let y'all, again, and y'all should have been thought about it by now. Y'all should know this time around. But this, what I'm asking, studies show that only 1 in 4 persons can answer this correctly. So that's why I do this pop quiz all the time. So name the 3 branches of government.
Legislative, judicial.
There you go.
What?
No,
I'm missing one. Congress.
Wait. Legislative, judicial.
It starts with an E. That's a
Who never told you to be giving hints around here? Well, start with E, gave you a hint.
What it start with?
The E.
Executive.
That's it. But I like to do that because I like to test it out. Because they say 1 in 4 persons don't know it, and I just be walking up to people. What's the 3 branches of government? They're like, huh, what? But that goes back to my point. We have to be educated. It's gonna be a challenge for us to be involved in civic life and do our due diligence as a citizen. And I have a whole chapter on here about citizenship, like what it means to be a citizen. And if you live in America, I know you hear all kind of stuff about being a citizen, about immigration, and all that kind of stuff. But I have a chapter, I don't know if it's a whole chapter, but I talk about citizenship, what it means to be a citizen. I'm pretty sure we all citizens in here. So that means we have rights. We have rights and we have responsibilities in this country. Rights and responsibilities that people in other countries don't have. That's why the border is the way it looks, because people are trying to get here. They want to be an American. We have all these rights and responsibilities, and they don't have that. That's why they will risk their life at that border to get here, because it's that serious. It's that serious. That's why, I have a heart for immigration. I'm like, leave them folks alone. Them people want a better life. And I understand, it's other things that go along with it, but they want a better life because we have freedoms and protections here that other countries do not have. That's why we cannot take for granted the freedoms that we have, because if we don't protect it, we can lose it. Like, we can lose it. So we got to know our history. And I have a little history lesson up in here, but we got to pursue education. And again, don't mean going back to college, getting a 4-year, 6-year degree. Just be educated. Information is everywhere. If you know how to use Google, information is everywhere. We just have to prioritize the information that we are pursuing. And ain't nothing wrong with entertainment. We love entertainment. America loves entertainment. But we have to prioritize education too. So that's all this is a call to action to pursue civic responsibility and education. All right, so I'm gonna read. I'm not gonna read a whole lot. I think it was page 7 through 8. I wanted to read. Yeah, just this part, the top part. And then after that, I'm gonna read a couple of FAQs, and if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. All right. So Cynthia, are you liberal or conservative? I have been asked this question a time, or 2, or 3. I would have to say, based on the 2 major political ideologies in this country, I think it's safe to say I support and oppose ideas on both sides, depending on the issue. 2 things can absolutely be true at the same time. There are some issues I support and oppose of the conservative viewpoint, and the same with the liberal viewpoint. What I will say is that I do not compromise when it comes to my faith and what I believe to be right. I don't uphold one party over the other. When I began to hear from God about writing this book, I knew I was being led to talk about some things that may not be popular to talk about. I knew I was being challenged and stretched to share my unpopular opinions and beliefs with those who may not see what I see from my perspective. As a life coach, I have learned and still is learning a lot about others' perspective and how others perceive the world around us. Breakthrough and transformation rarely comes through new knowledge, because looking at additional information from the same perspective just keeps us on the same road. As a coach, when coaching, we take a different approach. The focus is not on new information or knowledge, but rather on a new perspective. A shift in perspective, seeing what we already know with new eyes, can lead to the discovery of new roads. A narrow perspective tends to limit thinking. The more perspective, the more accurately a person will see his or her situation. We find new roads by increasing our perspective, seeing the same world in new ways through, new eyes. With a new perspective, we make discoveries about our situation and ourselves. Insights come through pursuing these new lines of thinking. When it comes to my political views, I stand firm on what I believe, no matter how far left or how far right it may seem. I have always been a strongly opinionated person and stood for what I believe to be right and just. Righteousness and justice has always been something I believed in, even at a time when my faith was as small as a mustard seed. My gifts of compassion and mercy would always lead me towards what is right and just. So to sum up what I just read there, is saying that because all the information in this book, it might not be new information to you. You probably have seen everything in this book. But when we look at information that we already have, information that we already know with a new lens, with a new perspective, then we tend to see things different. Just like people that's just getting involved in the political process. Years ago, you probably didn't care who was running. You just didn't care about politics. But the more we see stuff getting real out here, and it start impact, which it always have impacted us, whether it was directly or indirectly, but when it really started impacting you and your family, because we live in a self-centered world where it's all about me and mine and what I can get. But sacred civic action is about service to God and service to others. So it's not about being self-centered about what I can do. So this information in this book, if you read it 5 years ago, you might have, or whatever. But if you look at same information with new lens from a new perspective, then you'll begin to see something different. So that's what it's all about. That's the only thing I read. It was just saying that when you begin to look at the information, look at it through new lens. Be like, I never thought about this before. And years ago, you might have looked at the same information, but you just wasn't concerned about it. Not saying that you didn't really care, but it just wasn't something that you just wasn't concerned about. And then years later, and you look at the same information, just like, for instance, you on social media. Like something somebody posted, they might have posted the same quote or the same scripture, whatever it was 5 years ago, and 5 years ago, it wasn't nothing to you. But now you look at it like, that hit me different today. You know, and a lot of times it may be based on your current situation, what you're going through, what's happening in your life right now. So that's the same thing with the political world. You know, things in politics that you might not care about then, you might care about it now because you might have children now, and you didn't have children 10 years ago. But now, they're playing with your children's education. Now they're playing with your health care. 10 years ago, you wouldn't sick. 10 years ago, you didn't need no, you wasn't concerned about health care. But now you're a little older, you're over 40 like me, you start getting some, health concerns. So now you're concerned about, I'm trying to see who support health care. Is it this candidate or that one? But 10 years ago, you ain't care about, you was young and you was doing your thing. You weren't worried about no health care, you wasn't sick. But that's all politics is. It's about the people. Jesus was about the people. You can see all through Jesus' ministry. Healing the sick, feeding the hungry, taking care of people. That's what Jesus did. That's what politics is. That's what these candidates, well, some of them, not all of them, but some of them really care about the people. Some of them really are passionate and merciful and loving and caring like Jesus. And some of them not. But that's why you have to be able to, first of all, you have to be educated. Again, we got to pursue education. Because if we're not educated, then we'll be out here voting for people that don't care about people, that don't love people. So it starts with educating ourselves and just being involved, being engaged. Start with where you're at. Don't be feeling defeated and discouraged because the world has so many problems and I just don't know what to do, where to start. Start somewhere. Start with your coworker at work that God been speaking to you about. Just pray for them. Like that's a part of civic engagement, civic action. Pray for your coworkers, Mr. Young. Just pray for them. Don't come home and complain and talk about the people you work. Pray for them because you was looking at me, and we have this conversation very often. Like don't come home and tell me about these people. Pray for them, and I tell you, when you go back to work, you're gonna see a change, and you've seen it in the past when you prayed for them, didn't you? Testify. You've seen it. When you prayed for them, you go back to work. They don't work there no more. Am I testifying, Mr. Young? Am I lying? And he thinking it's something that he didn't know you prayed. Like, you don't know how God gonna do it, but he gonna do it. He like, oh, this person didn't had a wreck in the truck. Like don't be glorified in that. But just pray for them and just let God do whatever he gonna do. But that's a part of civic action, civic life, civic engagement, especially if you're in the church, if you're a believer, you have faith. We should be praying. That's very important. We should be praying. All right, so what I was doing after this, a few, I ain't going to read the FAQs. Anybody got any questions? Because I want to do our little activity, and so we can move this along. Anybody have any questions about anything? Hi, ladies. Thank y'all for coming.
And everyone that hasn't signed in, you can also.
And yeah, get a little activity, because I got a little verbal activity we're going to do. If you don't have a pen, if you want to write, you can write, but if not, you can just verbally participate. And I also have another activities. Yeah, I got activities. Yes, ma'am. Y'all know me. Because I want this to be interactive. I don't want to be doing all the talking. Y'all know I like to. Don't do this together. This is a group thing. But it's not nothing hard. I mean, it's just a little fun civic engagement to test your knowledge. How you been doing, sister? Holding on. Good to see you. Looking good. How you doing, Miss Tony? How are you? Good. You ain't late because I just, it's going on the faculty. Normally the books I just come in, get your book and go. But I was like, I wanted to engage the people, test y'all knowledge a little bit. I'm just playing. I ain't want to test y'all now. I just wanted to have a little fun and build an interaction. That's all. Yeah, but y'all have any questions before we get started? So if y'all want to, and I'm gonna set up the other little activity because have y'all ever played Cahoots? Cause it's like Cahoots, it's not Cahoots, but it's like you scan the QR code. You don't have to download the app, but you scan the QR code and then the information that's on the screen is like a game. Y'all can play on y'all phone. What's on the screen, y'all can see it on y'all phone. And then like whoever answers the most questions. I got 2 door prizes for y'all, first 2 winners. Y'all gonna get something free. But I'm gonna get that up while y'all do that little.
So we work on it now?
Yeah, y'all can start doing that now. If you don't wanna fill it out, I mean, you can just look at it and say you wanna answer, you can. But just a few minutes to do that. Y'all want to? I mean, participate? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get that up. I hope it comes up because the man had to come in here and get this on the screen and it went away and came back, so hopefully I can get it up. See that barcode still cut off? See if it's gonna scan when it cut off on your phone.
You want me to do it?
Yeah. Oh, it was time, cause I activated, I'm gonna have to deactivate it for it to unlock it. Cause when you scan the code, you're gonna have to put in like a username that you're gonna use so I can identify who answered the questions. But you'll have what's on the screen on your phone when you scan the barcode. Hold on. So unlock, okay. Yeah, see, if it'll, you can scan it with it cut off, but I can slide it down no more. And if you can't scan it,
Yeah,
I gotta deactivate it because it's activated, that's why it's. And if you can't scan it, then you can just go to that website and type in CYoung 388, that's the. Oh, okay, I could've stopped it, that's what it was, okay, there we go, I stopped.
what's the website?
Oh, polev.com, it wouldn't scan?
No.
Let me see if I can slide it down. Wait a minute.
What website you say go to?
Poleverywhere.com.
P-O-L-L?
Yeah. So I don't wanna activate it too early. Poleverywhere.com, and it's gonna ask you to put in the ID.
Presenter's username?
Yeah, the username.
And that's your name?
Well, no, it's. This is my first time using the show. Trying to be interactive. It is where it went. Okay, activity. CYoung 388. Okay, unlock. So I'm gonna activate it right now.
When you get on, what did you put? Get started or join here?
Well, when you join, when you put CYoung 388 in,
No, I
then it
haven't
should
put that
take
in
you,
yet.
it did ask you for,
It's, I got
Uh,
trying to join a poll.
yeah, go to there, trying to join a poll.
Okay.
So how do you get to
And
trying
mine
to join
says
the poll?
waiting for presentation.
Yeah, cause if you didn't get it, then it's not gonna start till I
Poll
activate it.
Everywhere.
Oh, okay. And then
Poleverywhere.com.
You get started and you put your information in?
What did I just do? Hold on.
Hold on, what did I just do?
It hit, let me see, I can see what.
I don't know why.
be, join here.
It look like it stopped, so.
And then, so when it comes up,
What's your, login again?
C Young 388.
see what,
C Young 388. Cause it's time. Let me try taking the time off and see what they're doing. Whatever this is happening. Unlock. Let's see. You know it, you won't do it 'cause it's cut off. Y'all able to get it?
yeah, I'm waiting to click join, cause you said you got
Okay, well, we
something
gon'
else to do.
but just as long as you're there, just wait,
Okay.
because I have to activate it for us to get going. So we're gonna do that little activity first, and then we're gonna do that on the screen. If you wanna share, I mean, you don't have to. Let me see one of them.
Oh, we're doing this one first?
Yeah. So the first one is, what are your thoughts about the current state of our country right now? Anybody wanna share? What y'all think? Divided?
It really is.
Mhm.
And people are showing their true colors
Mhm.
now, so, you know.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else wanna share? Thank you for sharing that.
A lot of people don't have any values, moral respect for what's going on in the world, you know. I understand everybody has a different opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but still you respect it at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you think.
That's it. And listen to everybody. You know, even though they may think different from you,
'Cause
they
all
may
makes you
even
think.
vote different from you, but that don't mean you can't have a conversation and just hear them out. See why they
Right.
vote the way they vote, they think the way they think,
And
or why they don't have no morals. Like, you can have a conversation with people
Mm-hmm.
and see, like, oh, I see why she act like
Before you
that.
make a difference.
You know, just have a conversation, oh, I see why he act like that. It don't take long to figure, but just listen to people. And a lot of people, they just wanna be listened to. That's why you see so much on social media, they ain't got nobody to talk to. So they just throw it all out there on social media. Whoever gonna catch it and respond, hey, that's right up their alley. So, you know, people try to come to you and talk, just listen. You know, it don't hurt to listen. Anybody else wanna share their thoughts about the current state of our country right now, these great United States of America? God bless America. Anything? No? All right, so what are some issues you're concerned about that you believe needs to be addressed? What are some changes you want to see in your community? And this question right here, this, like, if you don't know what you can do, how to get involved, what you're concerned about? This is your call to action question right here. Like, what is it that you're concerned about? What you want to see change? If you want to see something change and you don't see nobody else trying to change it or talking about changing it, guess what? I'm calling you to do it. You might can't do it by yourself, but he might be calling you to at least get started. And then, you know, he gonna bring the help that you need, but, you know, it only starts with one person. Dr. Martin Luther King, he had a vision, he had a dream. And guess what? It started with that one person, and he led a whole civil rights movement. So it only starts with one person. So if, you know, you see something that you're concerned about in your community, on your job, anywhere, you know, any.
I think I can answer that one.
Okay.
I think what I currently do, I consider myself to be a community service provider because I'm educating people on life insurance
Mhm.
and Medicare and ACA.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's definitely a need for that in the community.
Oh, yes.
Because we have a lot of GoFundMes.
Mm-hmm. When people die.
When people die.
Mhm.
And I think it's education. It's
Mhm.
more because we have our own idea of life
That's it.
insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really look at myself as, that's my calling,
Amen. I'm gonna be impressed by this sister.
that's what I'm here to do, and not just with the life insurance, but with the Medicare. I mean, there's so many seniors out there that don't
Mhm.
understand
Yeah,
when they turn
Don't have a clue.
65, what they got to do.
yeah. People younger than that.
Right.
You know, we can get a seniors a pass, but you know the young folks they don't
Right.
have a clue. Like, come on
Right.
now.
And it's
But-
cheaper when
but
you're
it's
young.
like you said, it's
I mean,
education.
if people only knew how much cheaper it is when you're younger.
Exactly, because the older you get, the harder it is to get. And again, it all starts
Right.
with education.
Right,
You have to
education.
pursue education. So that's what it's about too. Anybody else? All right, and the last one, how do your spiritual values inform your view of justice, community, and service? How do your spiritual values inform your view of justice, community, and service?
You just gotta stay focused sometimes on
Stay focused.
what it is you need to do.
Yes, ma'am, because there are so many distractions in the world.
Right.
So many distractions, and you know, the distractions gonna be there. They're not going nowhere. And it's only getting worse. Social media not going nowhere no time soon. So if that's where you focus at, and you know, other than trying to do something for your community, the distraction's gonna be there. So we have to stay focused. It's so important. Discipline, focus, discipline, focus, discipline, focus. Because that's the only way you're gonna get it. That's even with, you know, your spiritual life. With prayer and studying your Bible, reading your Bible, studying your Bible, being in fellowship and worship, being in community with other believers. Gotta focus and be disciplined. And it's not always easy because there are so many distractions in the world. But we have to make sure we stay focused and disciplined. Okay, any questions about that? All right, we're gonna do this activity right quick. Now this should be fun. It's my first time doing this one. So let me activate it. So everybody that wanna play, you got it on your phone? Before I activate it,
Right. It should
I
say
took the
content
timer
message,
off it.
right?
but,
It said content message. Mine say content message.
I don't know, did you put in the C Young 388? Have you put the code
I
in?
put that in and then it asked me for a name. I put my name in.
Okay,
And then I clicked and it just say content message.
okay, let me see, cause it's not activated yet. Okay, unlock, activate, present. Do y'all see that question on y'all phone? What's on the screen?
Yeah.
I don't.
So y'all look like y'all don't see it.
It was on there.
Okay, what's on the screen, you should see it on your phone.
Okay, now. I
Okay. And it's like real time, like when I switch to the next slide, you should see it on your phone.
So what, they had to scan the QR code or something?
Yeah, go to the website if you could, cause the QR code, it was cut off, and I didn't wanna be trying to adjust it, cause the man had to.
So that's the website we go to?
Yeah, go to, polev.com and just put in C Young, I guess, John by web, yeah, go to polev.com. I'm gonna hold it right there.
Okay, so,
A minute, cause I had the time on, but I turned it off.
You can go ahead.
Cause I want your.
Oh, C Young 388. Oh, okay.
You put it in back like that, and you join the show.
But is it got me, who is guest 5A? I didn't put that in.
Probably somebody else.
It's got me responding as guest 5A.
Did you put your name in? Like
I
you put a
my
username?
name in. I put Rita in.
Okay.
But up at the top it's saying responding as guest
Or
5A.
maybe it might have timed out or something, but I was waiting a little while maybe. See if it'll let you put your name in again.
Then I have to go back, I'm scared.
Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna be guest 5A.
Well, you know you guess 5A, okay. Alright, so y'all answered that one? I'm gonna go to the next one. What is the most common form of civic engagement in the United States?
You need the first and last name or just first name?
Just put your first name. You don't have to put your name. I mean, just as long as you can identify it as you when I go to look at the results.
Okay. So let me see, yeah, I'm on here. What I'm supposed to be doing, answering questions?
No, just answer it on your phone.
Oh, I didn't see that.
This question too,
Okay, I didn't see
cause like the percentage,
Is the
I'm
question
stuck
up?
then.
yeah,
It shows on your screen.
it's not showing. Oh, you're talking.
Okay,
It
so
should,
what
it
I'm-
should say on your screen what is the most common form of civic education in the United States. You don't see that on your screen?
Oh, okay.
Alright,
So what is doing it for you and you gonna quiz us or something?
Now you click on the answer.
You just click what you think the right, and once we get to the end,
Okay,
it's
I
gonna
see
show the
it.
percentage of.
Okay, I see it now with
Yeah.
A, B, okay. Bear with me, sorry.
All right.
So do we have 100% on the first question? I missed the first.
Oh,
I missed
it
the
look like
first
it was.
question. Oh,
I got the second one.
Let me go back and see. Oh, I don't want to miss nothing. Hold on, why it ain't showing the,
It went back.
yeah, something, hold on.
Mine went
Yeah.
back. Mine went back.
I see.
Yeah, cause I went back on it, but y'all was able to answer it, cause it didn't show like 100, it didn't show
I'm
like
gonna
that.
answer it again. And see what it
Yeah,
is.
just answer it again, cause it don't look like how the second question looked.
It said response recorded. Now it's gonna be
Alright.
second.
I'm gonna go to 3. Should be on the third
Okay, I'm
question.
ready now.
Which of the following is a way to participate in local government? You got that?
I got it now. I'm on the ball now.
Alright. How can young people get involved in civic engagement? Got it? Alright. What role do nonprofit organizations play in civic engagement? It's only 8 questions, got 3 more. Alright. What can
You
citizens
went
do?
too fast.
Oh. What role do
Okay,
nonprofit
wait a minute. All right.
organizations play in civic engagement?
All right.
Alright. And what can citizens do to influence policy change? I don't feel like y'all smart, not this entire business.
Like, go back.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
to 6, alright. On this one here? Or go back to 5?
The 5.
Okay. What role do nonprofit organizations play in civic engagement?
No, go back to the.
Oh, 6. What can citizens do to influence positive policy change?
Uh-huh. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, what happened? Oh. All right, 7. Why is it important to stay informed about current events and policies? You changed the answer. Yeah, I'm so smart. Right, last one. Go to the next one. Okay. What is an effective way to advocate for a cause you care about? Alright. Excuse me, because I checked the responses. Let me see, now it says correctness. Okay, it's just for that answer. Let me fix it out here and see how we're gonna get the answers. So I'm gonna go back to 1. So the correctness for 1. So it look like we had, it don't show y'all names. So who think they got all of, so did it tell y'all if y'all got it right when you did it, or it didn't say?
Didn't
Okay.
say.
So 100% of y'all got 1 right. So everybody got 1 right. Okay. So everybody got 2 right, voting in elections. Alright. See, I was thinking it was gonna show, but I think that's like the paid version, so I ain't doing the paid version, so you don't get all of the perks. Alright, so we got 100%. Everybody got attending town hall meetings, right? We might have to do a tiebreaker. Alright, so volunteering in community service projects, everybody got that one right? Alright, they work to solve community problems and something. So everybody got that right? So that sounds about right? That was y'all answers, alright. Alright, petition their representatives. Alright. And, oh wait. Go back to correctness. Okay. What y'all saying, the check mark on the, but I guess they was right though, but yeah, I was under responses rather than correctness. Let me just go back just to make sure it's a green check mark back. But I think, I know all y'all didn't answer it incorrectly, so I'm pretty sure they was all right. Alright. Alright, so yeah, check mark by B. Alright, correctness. Check mark by C. Correctness. Check mark by B. Alright, correctness. Check mark by A, petition their representatives. Correctness, check mark by D. And one more. Check mark by C. Oh, y'all are so intelligent. Now how we gonna do this tiebreaker, because I don't have 2 gifts. Sister, how we gonna do this? We gotta do a tiebreaker.
Pick a number.
A number or another pop quiz?
Number.
No. Number, okay. So we gonna write the number? Let me see. So whoever get closest to the number without going over. Ain't this how it goes?
Price is right.
Yeah, price is right. Whoever get close to that. So you write a number and then it's gonna be one to what?
Oh, this will be a number 1 through 25.
1
You
through
won't write my
25.
number down. Let me see.
I
1 through 25.
got it in my head, I got no pen.
All right, so whoever's closest to the number without going over, we're gonna start with you, Rita.
19.
All right,
16.
okay. You played? You didn't
7.
play? 7. John?
3.
3.
15.
15. So we got 7, that's the correct number. And the next person who was closest without going over would have been the giant, right, with 3? So 7 and 3. Congratulations! Number was 7. What 7 is represent completeness?
Completeness.
All right, you complete, girl. Come on, get y'all gift. Get your gift. Congratulations.
You're very much welcome. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
See, that means next time you have to have more gifts.
I know, because I thought y'all wasn't gonna get them right. Thought it was going to be 2 winners. All right, so now we're gonna do then you're gonna read the proclamation and then I'll do the book signing for those of you that wanna get a book. Now, John, you gonna read the other one? No.
You said it so quick.
Y'all folks. Bridget, you wanna read it? It's a proclamation.
From the governor. I'm reading the one from the mayor.
Oh, where is that? I need to be up there or something?
Yeah, you can come up, shoot, you got it, shoot.
I ain't got my glasses on. No.
See, look at my sisters, they not afraid to come up here.
I really
And this is
stuff like
my other sister, I know y'all know Danielle, but this is Bridget.
Okay.
My older sister. All right, well, Danielle gonna read hers first. and then-
Good afternoon, everyone. I will be reading the proclamation from the mayor. Baton Rouge, Office of the Mayor President, City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, State of Louisiana. Certificate of commendation presented to Cynthia Young, author, for congratulations on the publication of your new book, Sacred Civic Action, Quick Guide to Engagement in Civic Life, given this day, September 15th, 2024, with sincere congratulations. And testimony whereof I have here unto set my hands as my official signature and cause to be affixed the seal of the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, Sharon Weston Broom, Mayor President.
Congratulations. Oh, okay. Y'all ready? Okay.
United States of America, State of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, Governor, official statement. In the name and by the authority of the State of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, together with the citizens of this great state, do hereby give special recognition to Cynthia Young and acknowledgement of hosting a book release event celebration of the publication of her new book, Sacred Civic Action, Quick Guide in Engaging in Civic Life.
You read the date.
Yes.
September 15th, 2024, Jeff Landry, Governor of Louisiana.
Yeah. Because my husband was supposed to read. And then he changed his mind, said he's just gonna be the cameraman. Thank y'all. All right, so y'all have any questions about anything before we have some refreshments over there, some cake and chips and water and H2O, and then I'm gonna sign some books. But y'all have any questions about anything that was shared, any concerns, anything you may want to ask a long time ago? Y'all may think I may can answer it, and I may cannot, but there's your opportunity. Now, we gonna keep it moving. We gotta be out of here at 5 o'clock.
No questions, but I enjoyed the book reading.
Oh, well, thank you.
Me too.
I agree.
Congratulations. Thank you. Let me get a picture of y'all with y'all gift, Bridget. The giant, y'all come take a picture with your gift.
Gotta stand up.
Yes, you have to stand up,
I
son.
don't know why you asked that, Jeremy. What do you want us to do?
You can stand right there. I'm gonna put some music back on for y'all. All right, well, y'all can help yourself to some refreshments, and then I'm gonna sign some books. Just throw it to the side. Well, I'm just gonna down.
I think when I did it, I hit up on
Oh, it might be. Oh, yeah. What? You want this picture?
Yeah.
Cynthia, that's your child at the house.
You can. Yeah. All right. All right, so y'all can help y'all self-sustain.
I'll be cutting the cake if anyone gets some piece of
Sure.
cake.
Say, can I get a picture with all the group members?
Okay.
With the
All
entire
right,
group?
cameraman. Come on, y'all, if y'all don't mind.
I'm a bootleg cameraman, so I gotta take advantage of the situation now.
So don't miss out. Shop the deals online or in stores. Sincerely Foods. Sincerely Albertsons.
I'm supposed to be up there?
Yeah.
Fast one-day delivery of 20 million items.
I'm trying to hide it now.
I ain't know.
Come on, Bridget.
I don't count to three. I want everybody to say camera.
Say what?
Camera.
You acting like the people that can't pronounce the name.
Say.
We will not
At
say.
least I ain't say Kamal. I'm trying to have people say. Did the man on CNN call Kamal? I said, say, I don't think Kamal like Kamal, what is it? So my wife had explained to me how to say the woman's name correctly. So 1, 2, 3.
Say Pacific action.
Really? You supposed to support the black person.
I'm no partisan. I'm representing all this issue and I'm no partisan. We talk about comedy now.
How you say her name?
Kamala Harris.
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Kamala. We were like, they ain't nothing but fake stuff that they make it up stuff, but I'm like, but y'all play.
That came out good.
I'll just play.
Uh-huh.
Did you see how? I always like them. It's cute.
That's nice.
All right, I always got my
That's a
head.
nice picture. Oh, go ahead, man.
I always look fine.
But it's good. Yes, ma'am.
Come on. So this, I don't, they're out there, you know. For real. Y'all paying me cash, but I'm gonna have to, or
I got cash.
anybody card, because I'm gonna have to connect this thing to it.
Did you take a picture of the cake, Cynthia?
Take them home.
Did you want to get a picture of the cake? Or you
I got a picture of it.